just rolling back, reaching your arms back, inhale, and then lift your arms up and exhale, roll on up. So the idea of Pilates is to really work your spine and to move your spine. In the morning, sometimes we feel a little bit stiffer than we do later in the day. However, if you stick with this work, I'm telling you, it makes such a difference. We say the mat is the method because it makes you so stinking strong. I know the reformer is so wonderful too, but it's very supportive and assistive, whereas the mat is just you working against gravity. And when we challenge ourselves in that way, we respond by getting stronger. So I encourage you to stick with this stuff and notice how great you feel. Roll your pelvis under. And if you come across an exercise that doesn't agree with your body, just leave it out. And one day, I'll keep filming and try to workshop and break down each exercise so that we can get you to where you can do it. And then some of them might be where you just need to modify. For example, if you have a shoulder replacement or a hip replacement and you can't do it, we'll just modify. All right, let's stay down on the mat, bend your knees, and lift your right leg up for tabletop, and then lower it, and your left leg. We call these knee folds, so we're trying to keep the pelvis square as you lift one leg and then the other. Inhale up, exhale down. We'll do about 4 more of these. Excellent. And then let's lift both legs up. Lower your right leg down, touch the mat, and then the left leg down. And the further your knees are from your center, the harder this is. So if I take my legs out here, it's a lot harder than it is if I have my legs closer. So pick where you need to be today. We're all different, and that's the way it should be. Couple more. Fabulous. And then we're going to warm up the head and neck. So when we lift our head, we want to feel the chin. I want your chin to come to your throat and your chest as you slide your arms long and then rolling back down, as opposed to lifting your chin to the ceiling to lift your head. So really getting in that habit of curling your chin to your chest, sliding those fingers along the mat, pulling the abs in strong, and rolling back down. Chin to chest. Think about bringing your nose to your navel, abs in and up and rolling back down. So this does strengthen our neck. If you're feeling your neck, it's okay. You're using it. Our head is heavy. But the more we do this, the easier it gets. And one more. Not to say that this work gets easier. Actually, I feel like it gets harder the more you know, because the deeper you can go in your own body. And back down. All right, we're going to go into the 100, a breathing exercise. It gets your circulation going, and we're going to try to coordinate our breath with our movement. So we'll inhale, pump the arms, exhale, pump the arms. Curl your chin to your chest, send your legs out, and begin to pump your arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. To make it easier, bend your knees. To make it harder, lower your legs. Last breath. And rest. Hug your knees to your chest. Turn your head a little bit side to side to release the neck. Moving into the roll up. Send your legs out onto the mat. Reach your arms to the ceiling. Your arms become a window for your head. Curl your chin to your chest. Press your heels down and roll up, bending at your rib cage, and stretch beyond your toes. Roll back curling your tailbone under you or your pelvis under and reaching. We'll do 4 more. If you have a hard time rolling up with your legs straight out, an idea would be to bend your knees. So you could bend your knees and use your legs as support. Then get your legs stretched straight and reach and roll down. And we're trying to scoop the abs in instead of pushing them out while we're working. Last one. Keep the arm bones plugged back as you work, even though you're reaching forward through your fingertips. And then we head into the roll over. So I'm going to slide down on my mat here. And the legs are together. When we press our legs together, there's a word we use called center line. Learning Pilates is almost like learning a language of its own. So when we press those legs together, you're hugging into your center line. I also teach indoor cycling with my partner Dennis Mellon. And when I ride, I'm thinking about the center line on the bike. So we use these terms for a lot of things that we do. So legs are hugging the center line, lift the legs up and over, get up onto your shoulders, separate your legs, the width of the mat, flex your feet, roll your spine down, and keep weight in your palms on the mat. Legs together, roll over, maybe reach back towards the mat, separate the legs, flex your feet, straighten the knees as you roll down. We've got one more. Up, over, stretch, separate, flex, roll down. Keep your legs apart. Keep your legs, your heels flexed. Reach up and over, rounding over, and then point your feet, straightening the knees the best you can today. Roll down. 2 more. Last one. And then let's lead the left leg up towards the ceiling. Grab a hold of the thigh and give it a good stretch. Curl your chin to your chest, and we're going to walk up the leg for tree. If you have something weighted that you can put on your right leg, that would be great. If not, we'll just push down to the leg as you walk up the leg and try to stretch your hamstring. My daughter Evie made these little rice-filled pouches that we put down on Dad's leg when he's doing these exercises. Or you can use a strap that comes with the mat here, and it gives me just an extra little pull. And we've got one more. This is called tree. Imagine your leg is a tree and doesn't move much as you climb up and down it. So pointing and flexing your ankle to stretch all those small muscles that wrap around your foot, those intrinsic muscles. And one more. And then point, climb down the tree. The leg is straight. You got to use your knee muscle. Hold the leg up. Press your right leg down as you go into one leg circle. So you're going to squeeze your inner thighs together across the center line. Circle down and up. 1. Let's do 5. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Reverse. Reach out, down, around and up. And one more. Bend the knee to the chest. Take that same hand on the knee and press across your body, opposite hand on your ankle, and give it a little pull there. And then we're going to head into tree on the other side. So take the knee out of the strap or the leg into your body. Get it a good stretch, pressing towards yourself. Stretch the leg to the ceiling. Curl your head up. Press this leg, the floor leg down, and come on up that leg. Point and flex. Point and flex. We've got 2 more, keeping the knee as straight as you can. Your back lifted as if there was a little porcupine behind you and you wanted to pull away from it. Last one, and then circles. and reverse. We didn't do circles on the other side. We'll get them later. And then keep your legs straight, lift your leg, plug your leg into the ceiling, and work your way back to the mat. All right, take the leg across the body, squeeze that inner thigh, straighten the knee, bring it down and up 5 times. Try to stop at the top each time so you kind of finish that circle before you start another one. And last one, reverse, around and up, and around and up, and around and up. One more. And bend the knee to your chest. Same hand on the knee, opposite hand reaches for the ankle, and you just give it a good pull and stretch. So you might find that you get a stretch in a different spot on each side. Totally normal. And then both legs on the mat, and then we're gonna move into rolling like a ball. So lift your bottom, move to the front of your mat, and we're gonna roll back to the shoulders, roll back up. Head and feet, try to stay off of the mat the best you can, and try to not thump on your mat when you roll back, so that you're as round in that spot that wants to thump as you can be. If you're on your yoga mat, I was doing it there for a while, and I had to pat them up a little bit because the floor is quite hard, so think about that as well. 2 more. Abs in and up. Getting in tighter makes it harder, a little more effective. And rest. All right, let's go ahead and slide back onto the mat. And we're going to move into the ab series. So you have your opposite hand on your knee, and then your same hand grabs your ankle. This keeps us in alignment, and then switch legs. So we're going to do a couple where we're seated on the buttocks. Keeping balance there, working hard on just keeping the legs up off the mat and programming this coordination into our body. So one of our principles in Pilates is concentration, and when you do get into that Pilates cave of your body, it's nice because you're not distracted by all those other random thoughts floating on in your head. You're just with yourself for that hour or 40 minutes, whatever it is. Roll back, so just to the shoulder tips. I'm still curled up, but I'm not in a teaser position. Give your leg a good squeeze and switch legs. And the other leg is going to reach out for this imaginary target as if you were playing darts. So you're going to go to the center and reach. This is called single leg stretch. Elbows wide. And I'm out of my neck, so I can say no and nod my head, and I'm not all bound up there. Couple more. And hug both legs in. I'll give your neck a little rest. When you're on your back, grabbing your ankles, can you have your head and your tailbone flat instead of all rounded up through your bottom? So reach to the crown of your head and then try to get as much of the lower back and bottom on the mat. Double leg stretch. Curl your head up into a tight ball. Send your arms and legs out like a hammock, like you're tied to 2 trees. Circle your arms around and hug in. 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Last one. Really curl up, stretch out, and rest your head back. So it's double leg stretch. Turn your head a little side to side. Scissors are next. Send the head back up. Send the legs to the ceiling. Grab behind one leg. High as you can go. Pull 2 times. Switch legs. Pull, pull. Pull, pull. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees, lower your head back down. Double leg, lower lift. So you have your hand over your hands behind your head. Send your legs up to the ceiling. Pull the abs in, lower the legs, and lift. 5 times. and lift. And lift. And lift. Shoulders up. Exhale, lift. Fabulous job. We've got one more called crisscross. It gets your side abs or those obliques. Hands behind the head. Inhale. Cross over. Look over that elbow. And criss the other way. Cross. Criss. Cross. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Sit on up, spine stretch forward. So if you're really tight with your legs, you can go a little bit wider. You might even prop yourself up on a pillow. Otherwise, your legs are about mat width apart, arms out in front of you. There's different versions of this one. Today, I'm gonna have my hands on the mat. Exhale, I want you to round forward and see how far you can go. And then stack your spine back up on an inhale. 5 times, 4 more. Exhale. And inhale. Can you go a little further each time you round forward? Bring all of your spine as far forward as you can, holding those abs in tight. Excellent, we've got one more. Exhale, round, 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 and stretch. From here, reach forward for your feet. Pull yourself forward a little more. Grab a hold of your ankles and bring your legs in for open leg rocker prep. Trying to stay upright and not leaning back too far. Send one leg up towards the ceiling and bend it. And the other leg up and bend. Couple more each side. Focus your eyes on one thing in front of you, on the wall or whatever you're looking at, and try to keep your eyes there instead of wandering them around. That's going to help with your balance. And then both legs at the same time, straightening out and back in. And both legs and back in. And one more, both legs and back in. So because we're going to end up rolling, I'm going to come forward on the mat. Make sure you have some mat behind you. Back to what we were doing, lifting both legs. And then could you let go and grab again? So let's do that a couple times. So both legs, find your center, hold it tight, let go, and grab your ankles again. And we've got one more. Inhale. Exhale. And now you know where the rocking strength comes from when we rock back on purpose and rock on up and rock back. Exhale, up. 6 more. Last one, you could hold back here as well. Makes it a little bit easier. All right, let's go ahead and bring the legs together and slide down onto your back for corkscrew. So corkscrew 1, we make a little circle and stop at the top. And then you alternate the direction, stop at the top. Corkscrew 2, we're gonna make a circle. Lift your bottom, lower, and reverse your direction. And lift, and lower. Corkscrew 3, roll all the way to your shoulders. Take the legs to one side, roll down the right side of your spine. Spine is in the middle of the mat. Loop my legs around, up the other side, center. Go down the same side you just came up. And alternate. So we'll do a couple more here. Pick the level that you want to do today. They're all really hard. And then we're going to head into सा next. All right, coming right down the middle of the spine, lifting up, taking the legs really wide on the mat. Take take a little stretch forward for सा. Arms go wide as well. Twist one way. Reach beyond your pinky finger. 1, 2, 3 with your pinky toe. And then the other direction. So your pinky finger reaches beyond that pinky toe, keeping your bottom planted in imaginary cement. 1, 2, and 3. Inhale, exhale as you reach. 1, 2, 3. Big breath in. Exhale and twist. 1, 2, 3. And around, twist, reach. 1, 2, 3. So you want to make sure you get the twist before you round. And go, go, go. Lift in the twist and then untwist. Last one, twist all the way. Then round. Reach further, further, further in that twist to lift and come back to center. Let's bring the legs together. Flip over onto your tummy and we're going to go into a little upper back prep. So I'm going to have you guys bring your hands under your forehead. Keep your hips really bolted into the mat as we lift the upper body. Shoulders are down the back, neck is free, and lower. So I'm going to do this in silence 10 times. One more. And then we're going to head into swan prep. So eyes look down, your hands are on the mat. Lift your eyes, your nose, your chin and your chest, and roll your shoulders back and try to really open up your chest. And then come back down. So if this bothers your low back, a good idea would be to separate your legs a little bit wider. And we go again. Let's do 4 of these. One more. Sequencing through the neck, through your upper back, your thoracic spine, into that lumbar spine, without losing sight of the head and that connection through the entire back. All right, we're going to go into a dive prep. So I'm not going to let go with my hands today, but I am going to work on kicking. I had Joe doing these this morning, and the coordination, he's super coordinated, but the rhythm's hard. So I thought I'd workshop this one a little bit more today. So when you push up, you're going to use that energy from your arms to lower your chest. As soon as your upper body goes down, the legs have to go up. So we're going to kind of kick the legs. It's all coming from my butt and hamstrings. Okay? Kick. Let's say you just have the mat, you lift your hands and you kick. So this is a good one to get those hamstrings strong and the glutes strong. We've got 4 more. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and sit on back, stretching the spine. Tummy still tight. Let's take ourselves out onto the mat, onto those forearms for single leg kicks. This is great for knee mobility, to stretch your quads and to get those hamstrings going. So start with one leg, heel flexes. I kick 1, 2, switch legs, kick 1, 2. So I try not to move my upper body. So in space, I'm hoping my head isn't bouncing around or any of my body. So I keep it really localized to the hips and legs. And 1, 2. I particularly have really tight quads. I'm kind of quad dominant from the biking, so this one is one of my favorites to get those legs stretched out. Try to get your heel into the center of your butt cheek. I know you can't see, but just imagine where that would be. Last one, each side. Single leg kick moves into double leg kick. So sweep your arms around, and if you can with your shoulders, bring your hands to the small of your back. If not, keep your arms by your sides. That's fine too, or lower. So I'm going to reach the arms back, roll my shoulders back, and pick my chest up. I'm going to turn my head away from you, lower my elbows, and kick my legs 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. As the feet lower, the chest comes up. Turn your head. 1, 2, and 3. Lift. And 1, 2, 3. I'm lifting from my back more than yanking through my arms. So I can almost like let go there. And turn. 1, 2, and 3. We've got 2 more. Lift and turn. 1, 2, 3, and lift. And 1, 2, 3. Last time. And rest. Let's go ahead and push back into a rest position here, and then we're going to head into what we call neck pull. So flip around on your mat. How you guys doing? You hanging in there? And I'm going to use this strap for neck pull on a couple, and then I'll try a couple without, because I know you probably don't have a strap. If you have something heavy that you can get creative with, put something on your ankles to hold your legs down. Hand over hand behind your head, lift tall, and start to roll to your mat. Normally we start from the mat here. So on the way up, round your back the best you can, really getting those ribs to fold in. Push through your heels and round all the way forward. I've seen people touch the mat with the head. Stack the spine up. You're thinking, yeah, right, but really it's amazing how flexible some people are. Hinge back, your spine's flat, get taller, and then curl your tail under and rest your head back. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. The breath really is powerful in all forms of exercise. Yoga, bar, Pilates, cycling, running. Connecting to your breath makes you more whole, more present. And flat back and curl to roll down. So I love the strap on this mat. Try one more without the strap. My feet are cramping today. Exhale, round forward and stretch and lift the spine and roll down. All right, we're gonna head into shoulder bridge. So you're gonna boost your bottom up, heels press down, lift your hips, stretch your quads. We're gonna stay here for a second and really get those hips to open that way. And then lower down segmentally. We have 24 vertebrae to work on. And the more we do this work, back pain suddenly disappears. And I promise you that. It really is amazing how this Pilates work helps your spine not hurt. And again, bridge up. Of course, we want to have good form. So paying attention to those subtle cues and those precision points is super important as we're trying to work on control with our body in this work. Last one, bridge up and exhale, rolling down. I'm trying to soften my ribs, work through that lower back all the way down to the tailbone. We're going to add leg kicks, so boost your bottom up towards the ceiling. We'll start with the right leg. I stretch it out onto the mat. I'm going to lift it, and I'm going to dynamically kick my leg up and down. 4 more. And then grab a hold of the mat and slide in. Prop your hips back up. Try to keep these bones level. They're called your IS bones. Other leg out. Bring it level with your leg. And kick. And reach. 5. We've got 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. one, and slide your leg in. Boost your bottom up one more time, and roll down slowly, bone by bone by bone. All right, we're gonna go into an exercise called bicycles. You're gonna roll up and bring your hands under your pelvis, and then stretch your legs to the ceiling, and begin to pedal an imaginary bicycle where one leg is going to straighten out, the other one is going to reach down kind of towards the mat. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then reverse your direction, reaching out as one leg goes back. So we have a little coordination going on here. And we can also do scissors. Often this work is done on a barrel in the studio. So we go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Keeping both legs straight is a challenge. 1, 2, 1, 2. Last time on each side. And then we'll let go of the pelvis. Lower with control if you haven't dropped the bottom already. And let's go into spine twists. So the legs are out in front of you. I'm going to use the strap just to show you how we should try to really keep our legs anchored and our feet level. Arms behind your head to begin. We're going to take the arms and turn yourself to one direction. So we'll twist one way. 1, 2, and the other. 1, 2. And I use that extra little to get a little further. A little further. Twist, 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 twist. So when we get these front muscles strong, the back muscles can say, oh, phew, I have a little support. I don't have to be all low. And one more time. And twist, twist. Awesome. Let's take the arms to the sides and twist, twist, back to center. And the other way. Notice which side is stiffer and work into it. One more each way. Good job, you guys. One more. And then we're going to head into jackknife. So hands by the sides. We roll to the back. Roll to the shoulders. Make sure you're not on your neck. Get off your neck, off your head. Your head can lift. Lift your legs. Lower down. Inhale. Exhale. Roll over. Jackknife your toes up and lower down with control. 2 more.
I don't know that.
And lower down. Ah, last one. Roll over and lift, lift, and lower down. All right, let's move into our hips. So lie on one side, facing me. Line up with the back of your mat and bring your legs out in front of you. We're gonna head into this a little clamshell. So I'm taking a second here to feel that my hips are stacked, one over the other. That's hard for people when you're on your side, so just double check your alignment there. And that you're shoulder over shoulder and ear over ear. So we're now working, I don't want to get too boring with you guys, but your lateral muscles of the hip, your external rotators, which are those deep muscles in the glutes, that little pocket in there. Not your big prime movers, your gluteus maximus. Those are like our squat muscles. But these ones, when we get these active and really burning, again, help knee pain and back pain because they're often underused. 4, mine's starting to warm up, yours, 3, and 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna keep the bottom leg bent today. Normally it's straight, and I want the bottom leg pressing down into your mat, including your whole side of your foot, and stretch the other leg long. Kick to the front, so about to the level of your other thigh, and then kick to the back. Add a little double kick each way. Try not to let your bottom knee lift. So if it's lifting, you know you've gone maybe a little too far to the back. Kick, 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 kick. We've got a couple more. Awesome job, everyone. Keep moving. Movement really does heal. the body. Last one. And then we're gonna go into circles. So circle around and really reach your leg long. So you're making a circle about the size of a dinner plate or a pizza. Did you see that commercial for no contact delivery of pizzas? Holy smokes. Who would have thought? And reverse the direction. Circle around, up and around. Up and around. Are we heating up the hip yet? Woo woo. Last one. And externally rotate the leg so your kneecap is trying to reach to the ceiling, but I haven't rolled back. So you want to do this from the hip. Dancers do this so well. I never was a dancer, so I'm a little stiff here. And lift the leg up and then pull down. So we're going to kick up and reach that leg down. We've got 3 more after this one. Keep the neck long. 3. Legs so straight. 2. And 1 more. And rest. Bring it back in. We're going to go back to the clamshells. Hopefully there's like a feeling of weight in your hip, fatigue, accumulation of gunk. Yeah? Good. And then straighten your leg and bend. So we're going to kick the leg, not move the femur. Okay, I'm starting to get on fire here. 3 more. And 2. Last time. Love it. We head into beats on belly. So send your legs straight behind you. Roll to your belly. Hands under your head. And beat your thighs together. Keep that pelvis anchored. Squeeze into your center line. One word we use today is kind of our theme, center line. 4 and 3, 2, and 1. Now hold your legs together and really squeeze every droplet of air out between the legs. There's no daylight between your legs. Squeeze and then open. And then squeeze your legs together and try to zip them up like a zipper to your pants. And open. We've got 1 more. Connect into those muscles, those adductors. Squeeze. Tummy tight. Locking your pelvis in narrow. And rest. Push up. Awesome job. We're going to head over to the other side of the mat for our other hip. So take your time to line up to the back side of the mat. Place your hand under your head. Be mindful of your wrists and that you're not bending it a bunch. You want to keep your wrists pretty flat. Last thing we want to do is create wrist problems from doing Pilates. Knees bend, hips are stacked. We started with clams. So I know for me in particular, my right hip is tighter. So I know my range is going to be probably a little bit less here. It is getting better though because I've been dedicated to doing this mat work. And I know that some of you have texted me or messaged me that you're feeling better too, and I can't tell you how happy that makes me feel to know this is helping you guys. 4, 3, these are little clamshells. 2, and 1. We kept the bottom leg bent, not our typical way of doing this. And then stretch your bottom leg straight. This will be just for today. Press the bottom leg down, kick to the front for 2, and reach back for 2. So if I go too far back with my top leg, I notice my knee wants to lift up. So be mindful that we're not letting the rest of the body rock. The goal really is, can I move my leg from my hip and not have it pull any other part of my body with. And to the back, and to the front. We've got 1 more. And to the front. Love it. Let's go into our circles. So circle around this way. Keeping your circle as even to the front and to the back as possible. Again, that knee is pressing down into the mat, which really turns this on. And 1 more. Awesome. And reverse your direction. So what are you guys going to do today? I keep telling myself to paint my kids' bathroom and I haven't done it yet. But we'll see, maybe today's the day. Last one. that knee up. We're gonna go back into a clam. So you lift your knee up, stretch the leg out, bend the knee, heel to heel, lower the knee, knee to knee. So pull the knees apart, heels still together. Then stretch your leg. Try not to move your femur position and down. A couple more here. This is when the cooking starts to happen. When Dennis teaches spin classes, he talks about baking your legs. You know, they're warm, they're baking, and then they get cooked, right? And then they get fried. So right now we're kind of frying out that hip. Mine's frying. How about yours? 4, if not, we'll work on it, don't worry. And 3, getting those hips to turn on. Last 2, frying that hip with a smile as we go. We know it hurts, it's uncomfortable, but it won't last. And I'm gonna do one more for good measure. Knee up, get into that hip, stretch the leg, hold it for a moment, bend the knee, and come back down. Awesome, let's go ahead and roll to your belly. We'll do the beats one more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, from here we're gonna head into teaser. So the legs come around to the front of the mat. And if you have something weighted, put it on your one leg. So instead of a strap, if you have a weighted bag, place it down on the ankle. And then take your other leg and we're gonna lift the leg up and down like we did for tree. And then we're gonna hold the leg up, glue the knees together, center line, and then hold your arms up. Roll back, roll up. 3 times, inhale, exhale. So the breath is also important. It's not just some funny thing Pilates teachers like to talk about. The breath is really directly related to the muscles you use. So we know, inhale, when you do a forced exhale, that you use your deepest abdominals, your stabilizers, your transverse abdominis. So, I feel that, do you? One more. Okay, let's lower both legs down and we're gonna head into teaser 1. So we're gonna take the hands behind the thighs, balance on your bottom, and try to lift both legs and back down. And something I've been working on is when I lift the legs, I don't all of a sudden round and drop into my lower back. So as I lift the legs, you want to think about lifting that lower spine as well and deepening the scoop in your tummy. Exhale. Ooh, there's a good one. Last one. Good breath. Deep in the exhale. Okay, now hold your legs out in front of you, or your arms out in front of you. Roll back and roll right on up. This is teaser. Roll back and roll right on up and hold. Last time, rolling back and rolling up. Take the arms behind you and we're gonna head into hip circles. These mats have these dowels for the purpose of one of the exercises is this one, hip circles. So bend your elbows a little. You don't want to prop just into your elbow joint. Bend, chest up, lift your legs. Send the legs straight to the ceiling here. Take your legs to the right. Lower your legs and then back up to center. 3 in each direction. Exhale. One more each way. Last time. And then bend your knees. All right, let's move into a little more hip work. So I promised we would fry those hips today. Kneeling side kicks. So we're gonna come up to the knees. You want your heels lined up with your cheeks. So make sure your feet aren't wide or narrow or crossed. Your legs are parallel. Let's take it to the right hand down. Your hands right under your shoulders and you're gonna stretch the leg out. Bring your other hand behind your head and try not to have a lot of weight in your wrists. So I'm gonna even come up to my finger pads. The other leg is straight and just holding the leg up high is stinking hard. I almost said a bad word. So kick your leg to the front and to the back, and to the front, and to the back. Kick, 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 kick. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, one more, exhale, inhale. All right, we're gonna lower the leg for a quick second. Next one, circles. So we're gonna lift the leg, take the leg to the front and see how high you can get your leg today. One more. Love it, you guys are doing great. Reverse. Yes. That's it. And one more. Oh, good job. Come up to your knees. And then we're gonna go into the other side. So hands down, hand down, other leg stretches out. Make sure your lower body looks right, other hand behind your head. And let's just lift and lower that leg a couple times. Imagine you're plugging your leg into the wall across the room. And lift. I like it. Good job, you guys. Keep going. Remember, we're trying to fry the hip. We're not just baking. We're getting in there. These are muscles we don't use biking or running. So it's so good to counterbalance the work we do. Last one. And circles. Oh, sorry, kick to the front and back and front and back and front and back in our circles. 1, 2, I know it's hard. 3, but we do it anyway. Get in there. Get into that hip. 2, and 1 more. Love it. Bend the knee, come on up. All right, to the other side with the hips. We're gonna go into our sides, our obliques, the side plank. If for some reason this is too much on your wrist, come down to your forearms. So we're gonna take the palm up to the ceiling and we're gonna lift the whole weight of our pelvis up and over. So we come up here and side stretch. I look down at my hand for a moment and then I'm gonna bend my arm, lower my hips, and come back up. Let's do 5 of these. Little balance here. One more, we're gonna stay up. And then I'm gonna take my arm, I'm gonna thread my arm under my armpit and then back through. And I'm gonna twist and reach. And now I'm cooking my obliques. One more. And down. Awesome job. Send the legs to the other side. Top leg in front. The top leg holds the body weight. The bottom leg kind of floats. Elbow to my hip, hands, palms spread out on the mat. Get ready. Squeeze those legs together. Side bend up. You want your hand right under your shoulder. Look down, double check. Stretch and lift and come down. 5, 4, 3, a little concentration required. 2, and 1 more. And then we're going to take the arm and twist and reach as far under as you can and untwist and twist. And untwist. 3 more. Reach. Try not to move your pelvis a whole lot, but get your rib cage to churn into those obliques. You might feel this one tomorrow. And 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Twist. 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 And then come on down. All right, let's swing around to the front of the mat. We're going to do an exercise called boomerang. So one leg is in front of the other, crossed. I'm going to use my hands and I roll over to the shoulder. So you'll lift your legs, roll over, recross your legs. I'm going to roll into a teaser position. So I roll down and I'm going to lift my arms I take my arms behind me, legs are still up, hold my hands behind me, reach the arms back, lower my legs, arms reach up, circle the arms around to the toes. Well, that was a lot. Lift the legs. Try not to lean back when you lift your legs. So from your abs, roll back, recross your legs, come up to teaser. Hold your legs up, reach your arms behind you. Try to lift off the mat, lower the legs, reach around for your toes. 2 more. Last one. Got the Pilates tremor going, right? Kind of internal shaking of the body and nervous system. Yes. And around. Okay, from here we're going to bring the hips forward, clasp your hands together, grab between your feet for what we call seal. So you're going to beat your flippers together, roll back to your shoulders, beat your flippers together and roll on up. Beat, 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 roll back. 1, 2, 3, roll up. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. A couple more each way. Now let's go ahead and take the legs back all the way and see if you could touch the mat and beat there. So touch the mat, keep your head kind of light on the mat and beat 1, 2, 3. It's a really great release for your back and hips. So rolling back, stretching, I find my mat and then beat right over it. And 1, 2, 3, sucking those abs in and up, stretches those deep back muscles. Last time, roll back. And 1, 2, 3, and come on up. All right, we're gonna do a couple extra prone exercises that I left out earlier. So swimming and some planks, headstands, and we're done. So your arms are out in front of you. Lift your right arm and your left leg and lower back down. Joe Pilates would say an hour and in the shower. And Pilates really is something, you guys, that we can do every single day and not abuse it, just like walking. So if you can, visit my YouTube channel. By no means am I a professional videographer, as you can tell, but I've done a decent job of putting some content on there that will work for you guys to keep going if you can't join me live. Okay, so then from here, we're going to slide our hands under and lift your knees up off the mat. So we aren't sagging the knees down. And we're going to push into a plank. If this isn't an option for your body, keep your knees down and go to your knees. So my head's in line, and I try to prop up and hold this position here. Breathing and not letting the abdomen feel like it's hanging down, but pulling up. So imagine I lit a votive right under your belly, and we didn't want the flame to hit you. So you pull up, we still scoop. And then lift your right leg and hold it. And lower, and lift your left leg and hold it. And lower, and then we're going to turn around and go into a reverse plank. So this can be a little hard on people's wrists. The ideal is to have your arms straight and your wrists this way. I actually do different wrist stretches. I've been doing that every day now that I have the time to, and it really does help keep your forearms and arms limber, because I know that some of us, myself included, have been on the computer more, or if you have babies and you're holding those babies, sometimes these repetitive motions start to get you in your lower hand. My mom is a store owner, and she's always pulling hangers, hair cutters, all those things. They get these small muscles in your hands. So keeping those wrists limber and moving them around is worthwhile. Okay, so I have my hands here. Let's say you need to go wider, you could do that. And we're gonna lift up Actually, my fingers face front. Sorry, I lost myself there. We're gonna lift up, and my fingertips that are not painted, because there's no place to get them painted, I could paint them myself, are facing my heels. So lift your hips up, squeeze your back together, and pull your hips up. Just kidding, I don't paint my fingernails anyway. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So if you sit at your computer all day, try to do that exercise. I call it the reverse of sitting. Now we're gonna try the same thing with your legs straight. If that's too much, just go back to knees bent. So toes pushing down, lift the hips up and try to get your toes to touch the mat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down. And then some leg kicks, headstands, and we're out of here. So lift your hips up, lift your leg, switch legs, and lift. If this hurts your knee, bend it a little. You're probably hyperextending. 1 more each way, each side, and last one, and rest. All right, so some headstands after for a real grand finale. And if you just want to watch, go for that. If you are trying these, make sure you have room and that you're not gonna fall onto something sharp. So I'm gonna come to the crown of my head, and then I'm gonna try to get my elbows to rest. My knees to rest on my elbows, and then back down. So this is a lot of balance. The crown of your head is right here in the center. It's not your forehead. It's not where you'd put a ponytail for the ladies. Chin is in, and you might just practice this, right? And then come back to here. And then we're gonna slowly find your center, get lined up, and slowly stack the spine so that my legs are right over my head. And I don't have a lot of weight crashing into my head because I'm trying to hold my whole body strong and distribute that energy throughout that ∗ And then bend your knees and slowly curl down for a light touch to the mat. All right, you guys, have a fabulous Sunday. I'll see you again on Tuesday. It's a level 1 class. It's still super hard. It just will be shorter. Then again, Tuesday level 1, Wednesday level 2, Thursday level 3, and then Sundays we'll just kind of play.